What's good, family? It is your boy Lo-Ammi Richardson once again, and we're on part 4 of our 5-part mini-series as we're going through excerpts of my new book entitled To Every Nation, Tribe, Tongue, and Beat that is available now on Amazon for purchase. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I wrote this book. As someone who grew up in the Christian home, I've always heard the negative conversation surrounding hip-hop. But the reality is hip-hop culture influenced the way that I walked, the way that I talked, the way that I viewed the world. And yet, I was still grounded in my walk with God. So I always battled between the two. Which one do I accept and which one do I ultimately have to reject? But through my studies, specifically Revelation 14 verse 6, I came to see that the everlasting gospel was given to an angel to be preached to the entire world, to every nation, every tribe, every tongue, and every people. We've established that the tongue represents culture, and if culture is made of a people, then the gospel must reach the entire world. It has to enter the most influential culture on the planet, which is hip-hop. And in part 3, we discovered that hip-hop isn't just rap music or the rappers on the Billboard chart. It's actually a whole culture that was born in the ruins. So today, we're going to talk about the prophetic soul that hip-hop has birthed from the very beginning. This is a story you probably never heard because the light of the gospel was there all along. So let's get into it. When you look at the history of hip hop, there's this underlining prophetic message that was there the entire time. And certain artists like Grandmaster Flash, Public Enemy, Tupac, and Kendrick Lamar, they were just naming it all along. Let's take Grandmaster Flash in 1982 for an example. He made the song called The Message, and the song was ultimately a lament. It was an honest cry of pain about life in a broken city. Now, think about the book of Job. He was lamenting on the ash heap. Think about David in the book of Psalms crying out to God. Hip-hop's very first message to the world was a lament, just like we see in scripture. Then there's Public Enemy, one of the most famous rap duos in hip-hop history. Now, the book of Revelation warns us about Babylon, this corrupt system that oppresses people, and Public Enemy was actually calling out the same system of injustice years before most churches would even say a word about it. Then there's Tupac, who we talked about in session 1, that rose that grew from the concrete. And Tupac's beauty and strength rising out of hopeless conditions, that kind of resilience isn't random, is actually evidence of a creator who built the will to survive into his people. And you see that all throughout scripture, especially as God delivers his people from captivity. And then there's Kendrick Lamar, one of the biggest rappers in modern history. He literally said his calling is to share the fear of God. Now, is that the exact heartbeat of the first angel's message that we find in Revelation 14 verse 7? To fear God and to give glory to him? You see, Kendrick preached that without even knowing the reference. You see, the light of the gospel was in this culture way before we even knew it. Now, I want you to notice a quote from the book Education that is written by Ellen White. She says, "Every gleam of thought, every flash of the intellect is from the light of the world." So, as we admire these great artists for their ability to tell stories, to shape concepts, and to write music, we have to understand that every thought, every flash of the intellect is light coming from the light of the world, which is Jesus Christ. So when Kendrick Lamar talks about the fear of God, when J. Cole retells the resurrection story in the tongue of his hometown in Fayetteville, these are real gleams reflecting the real Son of God. The gleam is real, but the gleam is not the sun. So our task is to simply take the culture's light and point it back to the source, the everlasting gospel that we see in Revelation 14 verse 6. That is the light. They may not have the full picture at the moment, and they may not fully understand what they are articulating, but God is saying that little gleam of light, that's your opportunity. Take that little light and point them to the greater light, that is Jesus Christ. So next time in part 5, I'm going to bring all of this together, and we're going to see how the invitation goes out. We're going to see that the angel is still flying even here, even now, even in 2026. That the everlasting gospel is still being preached and still reaching people today. In part 5, we're going to talk about that the angel is still flying. Now, please, if you haven't done so already, go back and watch parts 1 through 3 so you have the full context, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope you've been blessed by this series. It's your boy Lo-Ammi Richardson. I'll see you in part 5. Until next time, peace.